Hello, hello. Welcome back, friends. I am Mia Juliana, and this channel is called Felice Noir, and we're going to be unpacking and discovering what it takes, what's necessary to get back our black joy as women who have been through many different types of abuse. And you are now coming into the other side of what it's like to live, to thrive after you have survived. That's what this story is about. And the last video, I spoke to you about, things that I experienced starting at 5 years old. And once that experience happened, there were a few other just weird things that occurred, and it was almost questionable to me. How did these things happen the way that they did? And I think a lot of it was not fully knowing the people that I was around, and I was around the people because I was with parents. And my parents were parents who, I don't know my dad so much, but I know my mother has voiced this. Like, I was not comfortable with you going to sleepovers. I was not comfortable with you going somewhere and, me not knowing what's happening at night when you're going to sleep, or, who went to the bathroom with her or whatever. And fast forward, I spoke to my mom. I spoke to my mom yesterday, but and I'll probably talk to her again today. But I spoke to my mom about the topic of, I want to say she was molested or fondled. It wasn't rape from what I remember, but something happened to her. And as we both get older, it's like just the peels of the layer come, pardon me, the peels and layers of the onion come down and come off, and you're just like, ugh, I'm tired of holding this in. Let it go. I just need to be vulnerable. And for me, the stress gets up here at the top of my shoulders and the back of my neck, and I like take it and just release it. God, just let it go. Like T.D. Jakes' book says, woman, thou art loosed. Like, I just let it go, get it off. I don't want it on me. It's time to let it out and release ourselves. And she told me that happened to her for the first time ever in over 40 years I had ever heard that had happened to her. Excuse me. And I remember it was a couple of years before that comment and that story unfolded about her being inappropriately touched, that she had told me how she went through a period of just crying and crying and crying, to the point that she realized she had to get therapy. And what she didn't know was that my dad had shared something similar to that with me, about when he first met my mom and married my mom, that she would just be so hurt and so just devastated and crying. And he is a very kind, compassionate, loyal husband. Kind, compassionate, loyal husband. As a man, he's very compassionate, understanding, let's work this out type of a person. And I didn't share with her that, oh yeah, dad already told me that you were like that or whatnot, and that you got therapy or whatever, and just brush it off. Because although that may have been done to me as a kid, I know better. I know that when people get to the point where they are absolutely vulnerable and they're sharing with you, damn it, you shut up and listen. Let them unfold. Let them unpack. Let them get that off of them. Get it out of their loins. Like, get it out. Get it out. And that's what I did for the last 2.5, 3 years. I found a way to get it out, whether it was journaling or doing my own videos. And if some of you followed me before on on TikTok and Facebook and, Instagram, some of the videos I was posting. I think I was pregnant with my last. She's now 3. And also carried her in the little baby carrier where she'd be on me and I'd be out for walks or whatnot. But, you'll hear in some of those, I'm trying to get my ponytail to be like even on both sides. So sorry, y'all, that like bothers me. Anyways. But getting back to what I'm saying, in seriousness, it's been a deliverance, really. It's been a redemption to be able to not just talk, but to know that my words are welcome. To know that I'm not being squandered or put down for being sensitive. To know that it is fucking K that I talked and wrote you a letter and told you that a male cousin molested me. That is okay. And did I cry about it then? Maybe so when I wrote it out. Does it make me get choked up every now and again? Yes. Because I was an innocent 5-year-old, for crying out loud, the audacity to invite yourself to the most sacred parts of my body. Oh my gosh, I was just about to really just like let it rip. But, who the fuck are you to embark upon my innocence, to take that away? So, moving on, my mother shared some things. My father had already confirmed the therapy and the crying. And it's all to say that, number one, I'm so proud to be in a Black family that believes in therapy. Amen. Amen. I love that fact that she came out and told me that. But that was years after I had already put myself in therapy, because we didn't talk about therapy growing up. Clearly, I just told you it was 20 years later, 40 years later, and I found out that my mom, actually went to therapy. So, all that to tell you and share with you that therapy is perfectly fine. Getting you a life coach, a counselor, a social worker, somebody to talk to is totally fine. If you wanted to go to an accountability group, totally fine to let that out. If you want to go into your prayer closet and it just be you and God or Buddha or whoever it is that you speak to as your higher power, totally fine. Just know that there is redemption in the way that you pray that negative bondage and those spirit strongholds off of you. Okay? The way that you pray, speak, meditate, and get those things off of you determines the expedition of your healing. And what I have recently learned is, as I said in one of the previous videos, no matter who it is in family, because the sensitive, you're so sensitive, still comes up, no matter who it is, if it be bloodline, friends, relationships, whoever else, I have to be confident enough in myself to say, well, would you rather me be a cold bitch? My feelings are valid. That molestation, that rape, that sexual assault, those are valid. And yes, those things may bubble up and come out and be a different type of response than what you may think is okay. But we have to walk this earth and go on when it's our time to go on, knowing that everybody is not the same. The way that you take in information and regurgitate that back out is totally different than the way I may take in information and regurgitate that back out. And there is something called RESPECT. I got to respect your way. You got to respect my way. It is what it is. So to banish you, condescend you with the roll of the neck and the snap of the finger and say, oh my gosh, get over it, is quite unjust and unfair. So sis, if you are dealing with something and you don't have anyone to talk to, if you are dealing with something and you don't quite know how to pray or what it means to pray, If you are dealing with something that was sexual assault or abuse, physical abuse, black eyes and busted eardrums, or whatever the case may be. If you sleeping with a gun under your pillow at night, or you trying to make sure that, that John ain't coming back in the door belligerently drunk or something to hurt or harm you, sis, come here. You have a community here. Come here. Come here. You have a community here. You can be as anonymous as you want to. You can be as vocal as you want to. Your feelings are absolutely valid. You are valid. You are worthy. You are worthy of being healed from that trauma and abuse. You are so worthy, sis. You deserve so much more than those bad cards ever dealt you. Come back for more. Click like, click subscribe. I'm going to keep pumping these out. You all have a blessed day, night, evening, wherever you are. Until next time, get your Felice Noir. Get your Felice Noir back.